Hey guys, it's Mistress Nightmare here, and I'm so sorry I haven't been posting for nearly 2 months now. I do apologize. Life has been very hectic with me since my father had fallen ill, and now have been designating most of my time taking care of him. Anyway, I'm hopefully be posting more videos frequently from here on out. I hope you guys stick around to watch those. Anyway, if you guys want more creepypasta fanfictions out there, please hit that like button, comment, subscribe to this channel if you guys want more creepypastas. Until then, let's get started. The Doll Maker, Part 2, Emily. The sounds of footsteps could be heard upon the frost-covered pavement. It was cold autumn evening. The sun had just set, only a few hours ago. Emily could see her breath frigid in the air as she tucked a lock of her long blonde hair behind her ear. She held several books to her chest as she walked. She had spent the whole day at the library until closing. She knew she wasn't allowed by her parents to be out after dark, but surely they would understand her need to do research for her essay paper. The wind rustled branches of the lifeless trees. Beside the wind and the branches, it was quiet. So quiet, it made her feel somewhat paranoid. She sighed a bit, and she continued down the sidewalk, adjusting to the park. She continued walking until she found something obscuring her path just under the streetlight lamp. She blinked as she kneeled down curiously. It was a 12-inch ball-jointed doll that sat there before her. She reached her hand out while her other hand held her books. She picked up the doll, examining it very closely. She was glad that she didn't step on it. It was so gorgeous. The doll had luminescent pale skin, wavy black hair, a silk ornate red dress, embalming with blue eyes that were more enchanting was that scene, or possibly professionally made, crafted too. And it was perfection. Yet, what it was doing out here then? Emily was so engrossed in the doll, its beauty, she was unaware of someone walking up behind her, looming over her. "You like her? Her name is Alice," a calm voice, smooth male voice said to her. Emily jumped, surprised, dropping her books, but quickly turning around, the doll still in hand. The figure was in the shadows, quietly under the street lamps, like she was, though the male had made out. She couldn't tell he was tall, 6'3", it seems. He was wearing a black pants, gray bluish tucked-in dress shirt. His hair was black, messy and long, that reached lower to his mid-back. His face, however, was hardened to make out by the shadows placed due to his long, messy bangs, made it difficult. Is she yours?" she asked the stranger, trying to regain her composure. "Why, yes, I made her. What do you think of her?" he asked, his voice still calm, inviting even. "You did very well. She was absolutely gorgeous," Emily told the man. It was not a common thing for her to speak with strangers, but he didn't seem like a threat. He sounded nice. The man smiled. "Yes, she is, isn't she? But so are you. I bet you would make so much more lovely doll than she would," he told her. Emily blushed a bit at his compliment, even though it was flattered. It felt a bit uncomfortable by it as well. "Oh, thank you. Well, I should get going home." She knelt down and picked up her books and some scattered paper, setting the doll on the sidewalk. "Let me help you with that," he asked, as he knelt down as well, helping her pick up the papers. She looked at him. "No, really, you don't have to." She stopped cutting herself and gasped, and she caught sight of his face under the street lamp. He had a long, pale face with 2 scars under his left eye, which autonomy blue color. and he had another small scar across the other side of his mouth, yet another reached lower to the right side of his face and nose and his upper right cheek. But what unsettling was the X shape stitching on the right corner of his mouth, keeping it upturned like a permanent smile. And his right eye, it was horrific. It didn't even look like a proper real one. It wasn't real, it was glass. The eye was a life-size doll's eye. Apparently the man had gorged it out, his real eye, and replaced it with this pinkish colored one. It seems like it was faint, luminous to it. She dropped her books again, or papers she had in her hand, falling backwards, saving herself, her palms scraping them. She scrambled back and tried to run from the young man, but she wasn't able to take a few steps before he had his long arms wrapped around her. She struggled and screamed, "Somebody help me." "Shh, my doll, everything's gonna be all right. Let me make you beautiful," he whispered in her ear as he moved his hand with a cloth over her nose and mouth. The smell of chloroform was forced into her nostril passages. She tried to hold her breath, but it was already too late. The world was going fuzzy and everything went black. Eventually, Emily's eyes began to flutter open. At first, it was blurry. However, things became more clear. She was in the dark room, only illuminated by the light of the moonlight shining through the windows of the half-boarded windows. She sat on the chair as she could see things laying out on the floor before her. Different doll parts lay on the floor, heads, limbs, torsos. And that there was also a set of knives, scalpels, clay, working knives, laid on a ragged stain with blood. Emily started to panic, feeling her heart jumped into her throat. She wanted to quickly escape, but this was a nightmare. But to her horror, she found that she could not move. Her body felt like a rock. She could only move her eyes, which were darting around in the room in panic. She looked down at herself. Her hands lay folded on her lap. She no longer wore her blue jeans and t-shirt and hoodie. She was now dressed in an ornate gown made of dark blue silk and white lace, and ribbons including red slashes around her wrists and pink bow on her bust, and under ruffles covered her upper chest. She wanted to cry for help, but it was no use. It seems like her lips were glued together. She whimpered, salty tears running down her cheeks. Out of the shadows appeared the tall, thin figure before. He went to her and smiled, a smile forming on his lips. "Oh, you're awake. How lovely, Emily," he said in a soothing voice. He looked at her. In her eyes, she looked at him with fear. How did he know her name? Had he been stalking her? Or had he gotten her name from her books? Either way, it didn't matter right now. She was in the hands of this monster. "It's going to be okay, beautiful. I'm going to make you even more beautiful. Don't worry. I'm sure you will learn that you cannot move, so you won't make me mess up," he told her. Emily whimpered, more internally screaming. "First off, you must give me a smile," he told her. He lifted the needle to her face. He penetrated her skin with the needle, sewing the corners of her mouth upwards in a permanent smile. She may have been in sense paralyzed, but she couldn't feel anything, tears rolling down her face. The figure then looked to the paints he had in hand and gave her luscious red doll lips, and making her skin pale, snow with blush on her cheeks. He smiled and continued his work in progress. My name is Van, by the way, he told her, as if they had just met. If they had been potential to be friends, Emily couldn't do anything but watch as he continued. She felt a surge of hate for this man that was destroying her. Fear displayed dominant over the rage she watched him. Van proceeded with his creations. He took up her hair and bristled and brushed and out all the bristles out of her hair. She sat there. It took a couple of hours as the man sewed new locks of hair to her scalp. Beautiful pale blue locks. She felt everything, all the pain. At the point there was no more tears that could fall. She had run dry. All she could do was agonizingly watch from the inside of the shell that was her body. She couldn't take much more of this. She knew she would die in this place. Van finished with her hair. Looking to her and smiling, he held up a hand mirror in front of her to show her. See, isn't this gorgeous? Don't worry, Emily. We're almost done. You'll be perfect soon enough, he told her. She looked at the mirror. All hope was lost from her eyes. No spark, no nothing. She looked like she was a mutilated face. How could he call this beautiful? She didn't think it could get any worse. She just wanted to die. Now, for your eyes, he told her. She looked at him, eyes widening. What did he mean by her eyes? Like his? Before she could even process what was about to happen, he dug his finger with his long, unkept fingernails into her eye socket and slowly dug out her eye, blood gushing out as she screamed, muffled by her sealed lips. Her eyes remained rolled back in pain. And then he proceeded to do the same to the other, digging it out with his fingers. He smiled, feeling accomplished that he looked over her face. The blood has ruined some of your makeup. Perhaps I will do the eyes first next time, he told her. She was no longer listening. She couldn't. She was writhing in pain in the inside, growing weaker and weaker in every moment, holding on the mere thread of what was the point of holding on anymore. The young man inspected the glass red eyes he inserted in her empty sockets, sewing her eyelids to open them, fixing her makeup, and giving her fake eyelashes. He ripped out her real nails and replaced them with fake ones. She couldn't see. She couldn't move. She couldn't speak. She was truly like a doll now. She was trapped inside her own head, unable to feel, only able to feel the pain, understand and define herself from it. She was truly and utterly trapped, her body unable to handle the abuse with the drugs this man had given her to get her here, to keep her from moving. With all the manipulations he has done to her body, it was starting to give out. She could feel oppressive, ragging beating of her heart starting to falter. She was giving up. What was the point of holding on anymore? She was alone. She was trapped, ruined. Her body, mind, had experienced so much without any word or without a gesture of goodbye, without a chance to get one look at the horrible world before her. She was gone. Once the dollmaker worked, he held up a mirror to the fresh corpse. Aren't you lovely, Emily? It's so beautiful, he told her with a smile. Come, Emily, let's put you on display for everyone to see, he said, and broke the joints of her lifeless body, and making it easier to display her. Now let's everyone see how beautiful I made you. The next morning, the remains of Emily Ryder were found in the park and display, sitting on the bench, her hands folded delicately on her lap. cause of death, blood loss, and trauma. The news made quick report of the horrific scene, dubbed the killer to be the doll maker. Let me make you beautiful.